or a Widowmaker, but this is another place where you will often see an Ashe or a Widowmaker. As you can see, Mao is currently sporting the stylish lady herself. It's a beautiful attire, actually. I'm a big fan of the character design for Ashe, especially Bob as well.
Huge, yeah. I love me some Bob, that is for sure. I've got gold weapons on Ashe on a couple of my accounts. Gold Bob is the best.
Gold Bob is fantastic. Right now, Obling's going to be the big Omnic on campus. The Bastion's going to be laying down a lot of suppressive fire. Does 450 DPS when doing maximum damage without any fall-off with that sentry mode, and that's exactly why Malzahsa fell so quickly.
Malzahsa's dead. Oh, so's Leaf. Whoops-a-daisy.
Just shot in the back.
We'll go again, I guess. Hardest is going to be on the Sombra, and then KSP on the Tracer. So triple DPS comp for Morningstars on the offense. Going to be pretty hard to run into Obling. Like you said, Malzahsa's going to get shredded in an instant. And also, Exaraf and Tridd are going to have to be very careful about the corners that they peek here. There's going to be a little bit of pressure on the point, but Hardest quickly going to be chased away. Triple DPS here does mean Malzahsa's not going to have too much backup when he does dive. It's just going to be himself and Leaf, possibly KSP and Hardest if they make a commute around. But they don't have that vertical mobility unless Hardest uses the Translocator. There's so much damage down onto Malzahsa. It's going to be a lot of ult charge, very quickly built up by Malz. That Bob's going to come online so soon. He's pretty safe as well at the range versus Malzahsa at that point as well. So you got to really be cautious of that. You don't want to feed Malz too much. That Bob can do so much work and can contest point. Right now, Exaraf and Tridd are not having a good time getting involved. Well, Slur's already dead. Coach got used on 3 people to push them back, but Leaf falling is pretty bad news bears for Morningstars. Olin picking up a couple of kills. KSP finds the straggler of Molf, but because they got Mercy, they can at least bring 1 back into the fight. Got to try and contest here. First stick's going to go over. There it is. Going to be contested. No one going to pick that one up this time. Malzahsa going to be hit away once again by the coach gun. Mouse is ready to use... Oh, wow. Slur got revenge for that pile driver. You think you can kill me? Absolutely not. KSP's going to go down. And Slur just put the team on his back at the end of that fight. 2 minutes now remains, and Shoes Money Crew have got some deadly ults coming up now. They've got Tank Form, they've got Bob, and now they've also got Valkyrie. Morningstar's not doing so hot. They've got EMP, but that needs to strike at least the main tank and Obling to do anything. I want to see Exaraf or Dridro swap over here. They are being absolute non-factors in this fight. Look at the charge that Exaraf and Dridro have. This is for Nano Boost and Transcendence. This is usually built within about 45 to 50 seconds in usual 3-3 fights, but right now they're taking so long to build them up, and that's going to be an engagement with EMP. Straight on top. Gustav uses that ultimate. Bob's going to come out as well. Can't get the hack off because she's getting interrupted, but still finding 3 is a good start for Morningstars on the offense. They've got ults to spare as well. Leaf cleans up Malz and Slur with a nice little dash reset. Nothing much Gustav can do at this point. Another kill goes over to Hardest. Now they've got Nanoblade for the next fight. They managed to capture it with a little bit of extra time left as well. 4 minutes is going to get added. About 5 minutes and 20 seconds to attack second. Obling knows that Nanoblade's going to be the main win condition here for Morningstar, so he swaps on over, goes to the Brigitte. That's going to be a very dangerous factor that Leaf has to consider. You've got to think about that shield bash, that second long stun. You may have maybe 400 effective health for 50% damage reduction, but when you're a stunned Genji against a professional team, 400 damage is going to come through no problem. Right now, they're setting it up. Here they go. There's the Nano, there's the Blade. Comes straight into the spawn, but a perfectly timed boop at least pushes him away for the time being. A nice 1 piece for Leaf, but Dridger ends up going down, so now lack of healing for Morningstars after Transcendence runs out. They're going to be able to plant themselves on the point, but Shoes Money Crew are now to stabilize now with their Transcendence of their own. Pulse Bomb goes a little bit wide, and the spawn advantage for Shoes Money Crew is really starting to come into effect. Exaraf and Slur end up falling. KSP trying his hardest to try and get at least a couple of picks. They want to get that first stick. Beautiful repair pack there. Will keep Molfig alive. Oh, nice. And a finishing hack. Yeah, I think he's dead at this point. Molfig does get demegged at the end, though. This could be a problem. Slur actually comes back on a Tracer of his own, pays KSP a little visit, and the minefield goes on to the point. Little to no avail. Gustav does end up going down, but Malzahsa is going to follow him. And Shoes Money Crew were so clean here. Look at how close Morningstars were to getting that first tick draws. They were like 0.1% away, but they were always rotating someone onto that point so that nothing could be gained for Morningstars. And also, that disengagement from Leaf's Nanoblade. Gustav knew exactly what would be coming. They made sure that Obling was sort of the wall between those juicy supports and the Nanoblade, so that there was always that stone which was going to threaten him if he tried to go through that doorway, and he could not keep up with a speed boost because Shreedro was on the Zen. Mouse has got an EMP already, only just switched over to it. He's going to get shield bash and actually taken out in the end. Nice little couple of clicks from Exaraf. does end his life rather shortly, and now Morningstars can move on to the point. Obling using the rally, though, makes him a little bit more dangerous. He moves into the front line, takes out Malzasa, and JK Lowell using that Primal Rage to bat over the wall to get him into the rest of the team. Leaf isn't long for this world and ends up going down as well. And Mouse can still rely on that EMP, as he was taken out first, but he spawns pretty quickly.
And he has so much independence with his hacked health packs as well, Jules. He demands very few resources, which means that JK Lowell, even though he doesn't have that consistent shielding available from being a Winston, only has a projected barrier which has 600 health on like a 12-13 second cooldown, which is going to change now. We're going to have a little bit of a swap up. No Symmetra to teleport Obling around, but they are going to have a lot of damage into an EMP.
The EMP, 5-6 members in fact, going to get hacked up instantly. Obling can just sit up here, hold the left click, Leaf shield, and the defense matrix isn't going to last long. Unfortunately, Hardest, who's actually on the Diva, KSP, is on the Xayah this time around.
Brutal. Do not kill Hardest.
He's fine.
Do not kill Hardest.
He's all right.
Got to get that stagger. Come on, Slur.
It's also extremely weird seeing Hardest on Diva, by the way.
Yeah, but look,
of course, KSP is going to be the Xayah specialist in this instance.
Hardest had his self-destruct. I feel like they could have pressured Hardest to either spend a lot more time there or have to go back to spawn and give up that self-destruct by swapping over to another hero, then swapping back to Diva to get that mech back. I feel that was a poor choice there from Shoes Money Crew, and that self-destruct could sink them as they're all in that single area.
Nice isolation of the wall by Mouse, who's now on the Mei instead. Just making sure Obling is more than safe. He's got himself tank form already. The point is not been capped at all. There's no ticks that have been acquired by Morningstars. They got a couple of ults available to them. They're going to wrap around to the high ground using Malzasa's shield, but Obling's going to greet them a hefty hello. Oh, uh-oh. That's not where you want to be. Obling receives a little bit of punishment. He's going to go down as well. Graviton Surge is going to hold him in place. Hardest using that self-destruct. Everybody's going to be able to scurry for cover for the time being, but a lot of damage now lost for Shoes Money Crew. They're going to have to rely on Mouse isolating people and picking them off one by one.
Soon a Blizzard as well. Gustav in the air with the Valkyrie will give a lot of healing to everyone on Shoes Money Crew.
Self-destruct and tank form's going to come out as well. Mouse has got that Blizzard now online, but a Transcendence plus a beat being used and invested by Morningstars to keep them alive. Opening finds nothing, but it bought enough space and time for Mouse to at least found a kill. And now they just need to focus one target down. Mei is so frustrating when she's in amongst the team. It's so hard to focus her because she has the ice block that can defend herself with.
The insidious creep of a cryo beam will bring it down so many members of Morningstars, and eventually does look like Shoes Money Crew are going to brawl it out here. Some wonderful target prioritization and great play from Obling as well, using that tank form to demand Hardest's attention. And when Hardest had used that defense measure to try and shut down the tank form, he used all of his resources there and also had to hide away, could not be a part of the brawl. And Leaf, he's going to swap over now onto that Bastion, wants to once again go for this Nanoblade combo from the looks of it.
But he's only got 30 seconds to really build it up. Hardest gets frozen. Paid a lot of damage by Mouse, who's only 30% away now from actually gaining another Blizzard. Obling's going to have that tank form online as well. They've got a lot of ults to actually work with in this last fight. Leaf's only 10% towards a Dragon Blade. There's nothing.
Well, they may try for the same rotation again, but JK Lowell ready, of course, with the supercharger. When that's down, Obling will do 675 DPS with his Sentry Cannon. That is enough to kill a Reinhardt in a single second.
They're going on high ground. They've got the supercharger as well. JK Lowell, if he manages to hide that as well, it could be so hard to actually take out. A wall is going to separate them as a Bio-Grenade lands. Obling, nowhere to be found now. The nade landed, that's what they wanted, but they end up trading. Exaraf also falls. The Bongo's going to quickly go down as well. But now Malzasa has to deal with the rest of this Blizzard. A perfectly placed wall stops all the damage coming through. Malzasa finds a kill in the end, but it's a bit too late. Obling's already spawned with the tank form. He found one. Malzasa's shield is gone.
Oh, it's
Dreedro is going to go down as well. That's 3 kills for the tank, and Shoes Money Crew are going to hold on second.
Those tank shells are projectiles like, here, catch! And it does a lot of damage. And he also managed to circumnavigate some shields as well. He was making use of the ability that so many Xayah players have been touted for, to use those mortars behind a Brigitte shield to deliver the burst damage around that protective barrier, which Brigitte can use, but is ultimately incredibly thin. So with explosives, you can make your way around that. Did the exact same thing with the Bastion tank form shells. And they're a lot more rare, but when you do see them, they can be so impactful. 3k there for Obling. Some great defensive prowess there as well from Shoes Money Crew, rotating those ultimates around. We didn't get as much usage out of a supercharger as I'd like, though. I've got to give credit to Dreedro for basically assassinating the supercharger, going around the back, using his sound waves. And obviously, Exaraf there got a massive anti, but it felt like Morningstars, they weren't on the same page thereafter about what they wanted to focus down.
And as soon as you're not on the same page, then they can really start to take over the fight. You saw the Blizzard come out. malzahsa had to split off the rest of his team. Then they threw in the grab, but then May's like, I got a wall. It's not going to be good enough. You're then going to have to circumnavigate that and try and actually get on top of the grab. So frustrating. And then, like I mentioned, in that last fight, if May's not paid attention to, you really have to focus her down. You have to force her to use cooldowns, and then you can kill her. She wasn't paid attention to, and then guess who came back? It was Obling. And he had the tank form, and he had the damage necessary to clean up the fight.
Now, when malzahsa is consistently getting attacked with that cryo beam, whether he's getting frozen or not, it slows him down to a point where
he's a crawl.
He isn't really a credible threat to anyone, Jaws. He's just basically crawling at them with his hammer swings. And like, well, I guess we'll just press any direction and get away from you. Shoes Money Crew on the offense, going to come out with a 2-2-2? No.
Yes, 2-2-2.
There we go, 2-2-2. I thought they might swap over to that Ashe. I knew that, of course. Molfig going to be going around the back, has the Sombra ready to go, and they are actually going to swap Obling over as well. No more use of a Brigitte. Knows that it isn't going to be hugely impactful. Morningstar are actually making their own swaps right now. They must be back at spawn, so Shoes Money Crew have a quick little bit of advantage here while malzahsa and Exarath return.
They might be able to get a free tick. Yeah, they do. Okay, so they're building up quite quickly as well. They've got 3 people on the point. Exarath out on the Ana, of course, like you said. Triple DPS, though, that's a lot of people to heal. Already, malzahsa, half HP, has to run for cover.
And he does. Opening is going to be raining in those rockets. He's doing a significant amount of damage. And there's a second tick as well, Jaws. Morningstars need to move for fight to a point.
Yeah, malzahsa's doing just that. And he's putting the bubble down to stop Opening getting any more damage down. KSP shield's going to run out momentarily, though. And a D-Mech onto Hard. This is bad news for Morningstars. They need to be able to react. But Mouse is just taking pot shots to the back line. Finds one with the Dynamite. This might just be over already.
Capping.
They are so close. They're like 2% away. malzahsa needs to get back on cart. But wherever he goes, there's someone shooting at him. Opening ends up going down eventually, but Leaf falling could be the opening that Shoes Money Crew need.
Oh, malzahsa getting the nano will get 3. That's what I call some monkey business.
Exarath using the nano boost. Not too bad of a fight, but still 2, almost 3 ticks.
5 kills, by the way.
5, 6, potentially. Please follow him up. He's not going to do it. 5 kills from malzahsa. Didn't forego any kind of reward from Shoes Money Crew. They still managed to get 2 ticks. They burnt 2 minutes, but they got so many ults to work with. Plus, if they capture this, the minimum this series can go to is a draw for them.
Yeah, Obling there could have taken some tips from Hafikal, just saving the barrage for Nano. Winston, unfortunately, was using a more frivolous manner. Didn't get much out of that, but Shoes Money Crew now ready to come in with 5 ultimates. And with Bob on the point, Morningstars have to go on there.
Oh, big hack onto malzahsa. He's in primal rage, but look how quickly he's going down. His health bar just melting. Molfig's going to be able to take him out.
Gustav
a beautiful sleep onto Gustav, but there's no follow-up to be had now. Slur using that Transcendence on the point. Bob's going to come out as well. So many threats that Morningstars now have to deal with. Graviton Surge going to lock 2 in place, but one of them is Bob, who's just in a better position at this point. Juju and Leaf are victims of him, and then malzahsa finishing up the rest. Hardest get nanoed at the end, but the damage resistance is nothing than Malz with a damage boost at his back. The point has been capped, and Shoes Money Crew, Harry. There's a minimum of a draw now for them, and they've got 5 minutes to capture 1 pick.
Yeah, wonderful hack there from Morphic, managing to make sure that malzahsa had no abilities to use him at Primal Rage, which is the big 1000 HP ult battery who could harmlessly flail at his enemies in that small room. Usually that would be a great place for Winston to be, but you very much don't have as much damage as you'd like with the Primal Rage when you cannot jump towards a corner and deliver that 50 damage from the landing, which is often available to the Winstons. Morphic will be free now to scout out. He can feed back to his team the information that they require. They will be going for this 3-2-1 composition, reminiscent of Contenders' career. We'll have to see if they can get any value out of a CMP. KSP may be a primary target here, or Dreedro.
The EMP needs to hit Dreedro. He's got the beat, Harry. If that comes out, that could be the saving graces for Morningstars. They find Slur to start off with, and Shoes Money Crew have time. Nano, actually, in fact, Molfic's been slept. You can see at the top left. A little ZZ icon, sleepy time. And an instant bio grenade to finish him up as well. Nice little pick onto him. Does mean Shoes Money Crew gonna have to go back.
We should also note here that Morningstars are currently playing for the draw because they did not get a single tick on that second point draw. So now they've got to just make sure they don't lose this map. They've got to play for the draw. They've got to hold for 4 minutes. That's going to be a gargantuan task, especially if Morphic can find Dreedro. He could even go for a manual hack onto Dreedro to begin with to ensure that that isn't available.
Morphic set it up. You can see him ready with that Translocator whenever he so chooses. It's actually placed at the moment. can just unleash it whenever, or just waiting for people to come to him, of course. Drijo's still with the sound barrier. Drijo's going to use it, but not before Leaf goes down. 5 members get the overshield. The self-destruct is also thrown in, but Leaf falling is disaster for Morningstars. Look how much capture percent now Shoes Money Crew have. They've almost got it. Malzahsa gets back on the point in time. Is going monkey rage, but can he get anything, Harry? He's got hacked. The nano boost, but he gets hacked up. I mean, he can't jump. He's looking to the skies, but can't find anything. Gustav and Artist are nowhere to be seen. Morningstars end up going down, and Shoes Money Crew find match point.
Excellent play there as well. A little tiny play from Ulfig, which could have made all the difference, was that after Hardest used his self-destruct and he was remeching, he got hacked midway through the remech animation, which cancelled that. And like any other ult, it just fully cancels it. So then Hardest, he had no option but to try and build up yet another mech using the Bunny Blaster. And that's crucial lack of uptime on your Brawling Diva, especially when you are trying to contest a point against such a torrent of health and damage.
Well, do not go anywhere, though. Junkertown coming up soon. Shoes Money Crew on match point. Hey guys, welcome back. Junkertown on your screens very soon. Shoes Money Crew right now, sitting on match point against Morning Stars. Morning Stars managed to secure at least one map. Shoes Money Crew managed to, at the very start of the series, secure their place in playoffs. So it's pretty exciting for them. Clearly riding the high right now as they did take Horizon.
Well, I think high ground. And that water tower you currently see on the left-hand side of Junkertown's image, that is where the high ground is paramount for any Widowmaker draws. When we think Widowmaker, we think one name, and he was in the previous map. We think Cusper, or KSP, as he is known amongst the kids, the notorious KSP in some cases when he is playing on one of those hard-to-reach perches. He will just take head after head after head, and hopefully it will be that he can do that for Morning Stars and take us to those wonderful 5th maps.
Morning Stars taking Kings Row. Rather dominant fashion as well, by the way. Does seem like as soon as one team gets in control, they know what's good, they can roll from there. KSP is going to be in the lineup still. So we can imagine a bit more DPS-centric compositions. Perfect for this map as well. It can be very hard when you capture the first point when you're on attack. It can be very hard for the defense to quickly set up and regain control because the spawn point is just so close to that initial capture location in front of the doors that the attacking team can be like, okay, so a couple of people died, no worries. We've capped, they instantly spawn next to us, and then we can roll on again and you can gain the high ground in that way. Yeah,
momentum very much in the favor of that particular location. Right now, Shoes Money Crew will be starting off on the defense, and we are seeing double snipers profit at the moment from Mouse and Obling. And, well, Mouse has never been a standout Widowmaker to me, but he is a good hit scan talent, and I'm pretty sure that given more time on the stage, he will be able to make those highlight clips which we so adore when it comes to his heroes.
Speaking of standout talents, one person that was mentioned in a Happy Cool interview a couple of days ago was Molfig. Said he was probably one of the best divas in the EU, top 3 for sure.
Yeah, amongst maybe Happy Cool in his own opinion.
Yeah, exactly,
and,
right.
And Tech 36.
Happy number 1, of course.
Happy number 0.
Number 0? Is that good or bad?
Just the best. No one can compete, apparently.
Just the best.
Like, I'm sure that's what Happy would say in an interview.
But we've got so many good divas, and 2 of them are in this game. Dragon Eddie. He's like Tech 36 in a way that there's no grab almost that's going to get past him. He's just so good at eating them up. And Molfig as well, touted by Happy Cool himself, like we said, is being one of the top 3.
He's going to beat him in a whole different way right now. He's going to be playing on that Roadhog, so he's going to be able to pig out or maybe body block a couple. Going to be a quick exchange of hands of arrows. KSP, cheeky, looking down. Some great tech there to make sure that Mouse could not hit the headshot that he wanted on a more predictable Widowmaker model.
Yeah, super hard to hit a headshot from the back, of course. And when you're moving in the air like that, it's super difficult to then track it down. Normally, it's very predictable movement when you do sail to the ground. Now, Zander is going to be able to push up with his Orisa, but Dragon Eddie's just doing so much work already. 80% towards that Roadhog, whole hog ult. And being able to get these hooks as well is just gold.
And he also managed to get Molfig there as Molfig was using boosters, cancelling that cooldown.
Dragon Eddie?
That's a cyber bully right there.
Yeah, well, okay. Use this whole hog just to instantly kill Molfig. Doesn't want him in the game anymore. And he's still going to be able to push forward onto this cart. Problem is, though, he hasn't got really a shield to hide behind right now, so he's just free ult charge.
And with Leaf gone, a huge amount of shield pressure is lost on JK Lol. Speaking of JK Lol, some great presence of mind from him as well. When face of Dragon Eddie, the second that shield went down, he actually popped his Fortify because he knew that Dragon Eddie was looking for one of those hooks.
Yikes.
Luckily there, Obling saved by the bell or by a ledge. I'm not really sure what, but Dragon Eddie might be feeling a little bit cheated by Hook 2.0.
Nice pick off onto Leaf. KSP's also going to down. Both snipers can't be rezzed at once. Unfortunately, Tridd is going to decide to res neither and actually go back. Only finds yet another kill. Wow. Double sniper domination from Shoes Money Crew right now.
See, I've always thought of Obling as more of like a tracer / hit scan talent. The same with Mowers, but right now Obling's looking super fire on this Hanzo. He's really getting the better of Leaf, who I would call classically a more prolific DPS when it comes to these projectile rolls. Going to try and get that early halt and the shots to combine with it. KSP thus far has been incredibly quiet. Maybe Mouse is getting in his head. The defeat on Horizon Lunar Colony could have done some damage to the mentality of Morning Stars. They go for the Dragon Strike.
Dragon Strike has been used on the Sonic Arrow as well, so knew exactly where Morning Stars were setting up. Dragon Eddie goes a little bit low, but he's safe for the time being. Mouse cowering behind the water tower, but KSP knew exactly where he was. Activating the sights as well. Now to the rest of his team have all the information they need.
May have been hiding behind the water tower, but KSP is ready to get the juice. Mouse, second
that's
again.
A headshot.
That's a two-tap.
Leaf's going to get a kill with the Dragon Strike as well. Self-destruct launched in the air, but man advantage for Morning Stars right now. They've got no main tank on the side of Shoes Money Crew to really worry about. JK Lol switching over to Reinhardt. potentially going for just a normal 3-3 as the car sails on home to that first point and unlocks the gates to Junkertown.
Leaf, a nice headshot there. We'll make sure Slur cannot rejoin for a while. Leaf trying to get those storm arrows under the bottom of that little car right there, meaning that he can get a little bit of extra damage, just like Morning Stars are going to swap up their entire comp, likely go over to the 3-3. But they were nice while they lasted, Jaws, in terms of the flicks. I don't know. Ricardo flick, that's old news now. You've got to think about the KSP flick.
KSP flick. Does seem we're jumping into a quick pause. We should be able to get back into game rather shortly. You can see our little faces, though, before we do that. Now, they did cap first point, and like I said, the momentum at the start of a Junkertown map can just be so in the favor of the attackers as soon as they get that first capture point. The spawn is just so close to them, they can reconvene and reinforce themselves rather easily. And you saw the rest of Shoes Money Crew, they had to back way, way off. And they actually switched up to the 3-3 as well, just trying to take them on the payload, I can imagine.
Yeah, I like Mao's attempt to also have the camouflage of that water tower, just sort of like hiding amongst the beams, but evidently KSB. He's played that location more times than we can count, so we knew exactly where Mao's would be hanging out. You can get a good tracking of the enemy Widowmaker from the information your team will offer, especially your Orisa as she looks through the shield.
Does it look like we're going to jump to a quick 2-minute break, guys? Don't go anywhere. We'll see you in a bit. Hey guys, welcome back. Very brief pause, Harry, but we are back in the game.
Well-timed 2 minutes there as well to coincide with just as the pause ended. So great job there from production. Dragon Eddie's going to be moving a cart on forward. The Shoes Money Crew feel the onus is on them to go on, get that engagement. Morphic and Dragon Eddie will duel as the high ground is contested for.
Defense Matrix does reach a long way though. That's a lot of damage onto JK Lowell. Transcendence as well invested by Morning Stars. The rest of Shoes Money Crew going to get rounded about a bomb. There's no way Bowser's going to survive that, unfortunately. Getting some bit of extra ult charge. Not too bad, not too bad. But a full sales swap up for both teams, jumping onto the 3-3. And Malzassa's already got himself a shatter, or 10% away. He's close enough.
Yeah, just as impressive. However, Dragon Eddie, we talked about how good of a diva he is, just already has for self-destruct. And he did swap over from that Rotok, so he hasn't had quite as much time to build that up. Both of our teams did go for wholesale swap-ups to these 3-3s. Looks like Shoes Money Crew, they could be caught unawares here by Malzassa, but it was just a little bit of a fire strike. A scout, not a sneak.
A little baiting out a little bit. Pushing everybody into the corner, wants to line everybody up. Malzassa does get stunned. Self-destruct launched in by Dragon Eddie. Doesn't find anything just yet. As a shatter gets laid down from Malzassa, which equally doesn't find anything. I say that as Molfig Mech actually gets destroyed by the self-destruct. Leaf going a little bit too aggro, and JK Lowell makes sure he knows his place and sends him back to spawn. Malzassa is also going to follow him, but Dragon Eddie continuing his rampage as a Graviton Surge is still invested by the side of Morning Stars. KSP's going to throw it in. Molfig finds the kill on the remech onto Dreedro. And Shoes Money Crew going to be able to halt the payload's progress just before second point.
You got to remember that remake does 50 damage, Jaws. Easy to squish a frog with it if a frog isn't looking upwards, and often they aren't. They're just looking sideways, screaming that they're under attack.
Looking sideways. I mean, that's true.
They're all about that lateral scouting. Slur trying to get some early charge shots here. Wants to make sure that he's well prepared with a Transcendence for any future fights, because right now Xraf has that advantage on him. There's going to be greater sustainability here potentially for Morningstars, and they're going to need it to be faced with the Shatter of JK Lowell, who hit a big fire strike.
That's a big fire strike. Already had the Shatter though, so he's good. Just one for the books. He's going to back off to the car, who has been moving back, by the way. Payload just inching back ever so slightly. JK Lowell repairing his shield, now trying to face Malzahsa mano a mano. Has earned himself his own Shatter. Graviton Surge thrown in. A Transcendence from Slur to try and block a little bit of damage. Plus the healing as well, really. I mean, Molfig does find the kill with the self-destruct. Another kind of nice and quick and clean fight from Shoes Money Crew. 45 seconds now remains for Morningstars to try and get this payload onto second point. They've really been halted in their advances. Dragon Eddie getting staggered as well. Eventually goes down. Uh-oh. No, he's fine. Are they fine?
How deep are they?
Right there. Okay, they managed to go extra wrath as well.
Whoa.
Wow.
Guys, we're on second point now.
Yeah, Gustav and Molfig both chased like all the way to kill Exarath. That's a bit of extra time burnt off, and Harry, 20 seconds, mate. That's all they've got.
Yeah, time being burnt off cannot be afforded. They're running on empty right now when it comes to time, Jaws, and they're running almost on empty when it comes to ultimates. Almost have those 3 tank ones, but only one is ready to go the second that Malzahsa wants it to. And Xraf and Jojo, they invested both of their support ultimates in the last fight, so the advantage in terms of attrition here will be Shoes Money Crew.
They touch the cart, so overtime will be in session, but they cannot let this go now. JK Lowell's got the Shatter, and he's going to hopefully sink it home. He's going to have to get it past Malzahsa, though, with a Shatter of his own. They're posturing around this car.
Maybe he can do it under the shield.
Hopefully, we'll see JK Lowell's going to get pinned onto this car. A Transcendence is going to help them, though. Dragon Eddie sends out the bomb. It could be big. It finds one. Gustav is going to go down. The payload is still moving. Morningstar still have ults in their bank as well. Self-destruct from Molfig right on top of the payload to scatter everybody, and Malzahsa goes down. He actually gets shot down. 4 people hit the ground. JK Lowell ends the team fight, ends the round. Morningstars go back to the spawn, flip sides, and now it's their turn to defend.
Slow and steady sometimes wins the race. What a perfect placement of that self-destruct. Morphic just put it in the middle of Morningstars, who were like, okay, you want to play it slow? Deal with this. I know that Malzahsa doesn't have a shield pressure there, and that was a lose-lose way for Malzahsa to try and deal with that, because he had less than 1,000 shield strength. If that shield was destroyed by the self-destruct, then guess what? His entire team's going to get earth-shattered, because you could see JK Lowell posturing for it. He was looking for that big 5-man shatter that would have just wiped Morningstars off the map. But what they actually did was, because Malzahsa was so keen to try and stagger out that shield strength, making sure that he could survive a little while longer, that was when you saw the incoming Obling. Ninja plays.
The flying Obling.
Coming in, crouching Obling, hidden shield bash, manages to stun Malzahsa. Malzahsa dies to the self-destruct, and then you do see the follow-through with the Earth Shatter. Some great play there from Shoes Money Crew. Very good shot calling. And shot calling isn't always in the moment, Jaws. It's about having a plan on the fly, formulating, looking at your scenario, and being able to apply the wisdom of years of Overwatch to that.
Now they have to defend, Morningstars that is, 1.84 meters. That's quite a tall task. However, Shoes Money Crew on the offense, you saw how long they managed to hold them, especially on the 3-3. Can't imagine they're going to do that again. It's going to be KSP and Mouse. I was going to say knocking heads against each other, but they're actually about 1,000,000 miles away from each other on the Widowmakers. But triple DPS, or quad DPS for Shoes Money Crew to start us off with.
I'm interested to see if there may be a change over to a second tank from JK Lowell. He may just be putting down an early shield to keep Mouse protected. Gustav will go over to the Mercy. This is going to provide the utility of a resurrection, but JK Lowell is going to have a lot more pressure on his shield here when you think about how much damage Dragon Eddie is going to do with that scrap gun. Has a higher rate of fire now. And does look like there is going to be a creep here. Slur's going to be found out. Leaf looking for the flicks.
Oh dear, that's a very, very hefty amount of pressure on the back line. Extrath almost went down. Luckily, Dredro was at his back. Quad DPS from Shoes Money Crew can be fairly hard to kind of keep track of the amount of people that's running around. Now Leaf under pressure. Extrath is dead as Mouse took his head clean off. He takes another one as well. KSP's going to go down. A resurrection could come through, but Dredro sends himself flying into the air. Do not get in his sightlines, man. You're going to get your head ripped off. Slur's going to be able to follow him up with a little bit of damage from the pulse pistols, and that could be it. That could be forced point just going over to Shoes Money Crew in a blink of an eye.
I didn't know mouses were fearsome predators. I thought they were more the prey of cats here and there, Jaws, but apparently this mouse can bite on back, and definitely a plague has been unleashed, although that was more rats upon Morningstars, and they've decided they no longer want to play with that team comp. They have been out-sniped this time. Mouse and Obling definitely have the advantage as they move over to a 3-3 with an Ana, but Mouse is going to be so hard to pressure out.
They might be able to get back to the payload. They do. 2 meters now remain, but a pulse bomb with the Ana's name on it. Mouse has got a perfect sightline as well. Dredro managed to kill off Slur, but Exaraf now dead. It's a disastrous situation for Morningstars, who now actually can't deal with Mouse, who's just clicking heads. Now they finally pay attention, but KSP and the rest of the squad are just cowering behind the brick shield. Mousasa tries to get him off high ground, but he was already gone, like a ghost in the wind. Kind of makes sense, right? Dragon Eddy is going to fall. Leaf also goes down. The payload gets delivered, and Shoes Money Crew, in almost record time, managed to get first. And now 84 meters stand in their way and taking the series.
It's looking really good for that 3-1 from now. And there was actually a great play from Shoes Money Crew, somehow managing to disrupt Mausasa's jump because it actually landed just short of a water tower, but sort of hanging out at the bottom of it as Molfig. It's going to give himself some territory control there. Does have the control of that health pack. That's no longer going to be available for any members of Morningstars to pick up if they are without healers. If Exaraf or Dredro fall, very few options for healing remain. Gustav,
nice fire
nade. Executed.
I was straight on his skull. I was like, what?
Yeah, with a sleep as well, and the Bardic rifle shot.
Nice aim.
It's more than enough to take out a Lucio and end the next push here. And we do still see that Morningstars are playing with this sort of isomer 3-3, where they're playing with both Ana and the Winston. This allows for Mausasa to make these deep dives and receive a lot of healing potentially.
Oh, nice sleep on JK Low. No, Fire Grenade only hits him, but instantly was it cleansed away by the Xayah shield. So live to see another day.
He can get 300 extra HP as well from that nano boost if he so requires it.
Molfig slips away, by the way. Had the EMP, another beautiful bio grenade. Uh-oh, now you're in trouble. Mausasa could have nano boost any second. He does get it, restoring a lot of his HP, but it gets almost instantly taken down by the amount of people in that small corridor.
Mausasa can also be healed up very quickly from the long-range healing of Ana's dart rifle. Shoes Money Crew want to try and turn up the tempo. They're going to go for an engagement, potentially going to go for that rotation. Mouse backs away. They're going to have to wait. Molfig has the EMP to try and make the EMP.
EMP's going to come through, but Dredro with the saving beat. Mouse is going to fall to Mausasa. He was hacked, but it doesn't stop him from flinging his arms around. Obling is also going to fall. Shoes Money Crew are on the defensive right now, just for the time being. They've got the Shatter available. Molfig potentially switching over, but yeah, there you go. Okay. I was going to say, could stay on the Sombra, to try and take KSP out of the game rather quickly, but switching over to the D.Va instead.
He had the EMP to try and make the EMP happen, but unfortunately, only hacks happened. No real EMP coming through. Didn't get a huge amount of value there, and Morningstars very well defended on their high ground, did manage to counter-attack incredibly well. Molfig now is going to have to play a more brawly style of D.Va, wants to get towards those playmaking ultimates, like the self-destruct. Right now, the playmakers are going to be Maus and JK Law. They have those ultimates available.
Graviton Surge on payload, Dragon Eddy jumping on top. Hasn't got the self-destruct just yet, or at least doesn't want to release it. JK Low with a 3-man Earth Shatter. He takes 2 outs, and they're going to just charge after Exarath. That's another kill.
Careful,
he has to block that shield. Oh my goodness, that was close, but Mausasa also falls. JK Low on a rampage, hits 5 into the stratosphere, and Morningstars have to get back to this payload, but I don't think they can. A couple of meters now will remain for Shoes Money Crew to just take the series.
It's a leisurely stroll in the park, but the Lucio's going to get there, booping off JK Law.
They do manage to make it back in time, but look at this. One by one, they trickle in onto the payload. And Shoes Money Crew just deal with them handedly. 3 meters now remains. Maus just carving up everybody. Shoes Money Crew take this to the 4th map and take the series 3-1.
And an excellent performance from them. They look so clean in terms of their shot calling, Jaws, and the individual skill is definitely there. We've seen Maus and Obling and Molfig all pop off in their own respective environments. I'm super impressed with Maus today on the Widowmaker, especially holding his own against KSP. That's a nightmare scenario for so many hitscan players.
Feeling good if Shoes Money Crew, clearly riding the high of making sure their spot was secured in playoffs. In fact, the entirety of the team has just been spectacular from the very beginning. I mean, Slur and JK Lol, this is their first Contenders. What are Contenders to be in as well, where you're not separated into groups anymore? You're going to have to go at loggerheads with some of the best teams and some of the most historic teams as well, in things like Angry Titans, Giganti, and British Hurricane.
Yeah, and their reward for having claimed that higher seed will be that they have a quarterfinal against 1 Point. By no means an easy opponent, of course, having made it to playoffs already. Unfortunately, though, for Morning Stars, they'll have to go up against Giganti, and while that is by no means an unwinnable scenario, it's definitely the harder opponent, I would say, out of the two that are offered, with Giganti coming in as the champions of Season 3.
Yeah, a little bit of revenge for Mouse as well. Back in quarters of Season 3, Morning Stars knocked them out 3-0, so clean. I bet he feels good at this situation. Obviously, the roster from Morning Stars hasn't changed all too much, but it was just Mouse on Shoes Money Crew at that point. Has now got a brand new roster around him, making it to playoffs again. Very, very good sign.
Yes, consistent playoff performances for Shoes Money Crew at the moment, and they're going to be incredibly happy with getting those. And also, when you get to playoffs, it also means that you don't have to worry about re-qualifying for Contenders through Contenders trials for the bottom two teams that will get relegated. And that's a lot of stress off of your plate, especially if maybe trials and Contenders would happen on different patches. That means you can have a lot more effective practice time before the next season.
Not only that, they're still vying for that spot at the Atlantic Showdown. I'm sure they're going to want to show NA and South America what they're made of. Remember last time around, you did manage to win against NA, just to point that out.
Quite cleanly, and then NA also lost in the show match against X6 Gaming, so they're currently 0-2.
Haha. We're probably going to win it again. I'm sorry to break the news, but we're probably going to win it. Sorry, guys.
Until like Gauntlet and people have to go up against Runaway, and Runaway just haven't lost in like 33 matches.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too impressed, not going to lie. Still undefeated is actually quite ridiculous.
The British Hurricane, our 7-0 team, they are also looking incredibly clean. I would not be surprised if they would come out of the Atlantic Showdown on top, but there's still the potential to dethrone them. They've still got a playoff run they have to make, even if they will only start in the semi-finals. And both of these teams have the potential to make it to that. I feel like Morning Stars, they have had a much rougher season than last time around in 2018, where they went 5-0 in group stages. They looked a lot more cohesive, and right now they're having a couple of struggles here and there. Ending the season 2-5 is not exactly what people would call a big playoff contender. But we do know that these guys have the individual skill in their roster as well as the resources behind them to really turn things around in record time.
Yeah, not only that as well. You got to remember, Harry, that playoffs is actually on a different patch. It's actually going to be on the Batiste patch that's currently played in Overwatch League. So I can imagine a lot of teams, a lot of coaches, a lot of backroom staff has been paying attention to what they're running right now, or what the current Overwatch League teams are running. It is a little bit of GOAT-centric, yes, but we're seeing a lot more bunker comps with Batiste in mind. Yeah,
and you're also going to see a couple of DPS here and there from our very storied veterans, people like Visility. I'm very excited to see come out on DPS, like Farah here, Genji there, maybe a bit of Doomfist as well.
I really hope we see some Doomfist. It's a wonder to watch, not so much to play against, though. It can be a bit frustrating.
Yeah, it's more of a spectator sport of a character.
For sure. We got an interview, though. We'll switch over screens real fast. And you got to say, Shoes Money Crew, looking pretty good. And so is Reason. How you doing, man? That must feel pretty good being able to clutch it in the first map and then just, bam, stamping your way all the way to playoffs.
It felt really great having it from the first map because all the stress literally went down and everyone was quite relaxed after that. The Thunder said in chat, okay, it's not over yet. We need to go for the win. So let's try our best. And we did it. So really proud of them.
Well, you managed to find the win. Now, if you look at the playoff bracket as it currently stands, it's looking pretty scary considering two teams already had buys, and they're going to be able to kind of sit back and go, okay, we're going to see what you have to play, because they don't have to do anything for the first couple of days, the first day, right? They're AT and British Hurricane sitting high and dry, and with it being on the new patch as well, I can imagine you've had a little bit of time on there, but is it going to be much of a variation from Goats, do you think?
I know Floats is very strong, and I know I will do a fair amount of Overwatch League watching this weekend. But I think Goats is still strong, but there are a lot of alternatives that we will be able to run, and we'll probably do so.
Yeah, well, we know that J. Kittle loves to play with Winston. Obviously, he's had a couple of good primal rages today. But one thing that's very curious about Shoes Money Crew with how powerful they currently are is that you guys had a little bit of a roster mix up midway through the season, bringing in Mulfig. Have you had a really good time trying to integrate him into the team? Because obviously, playing this well with basically a new off-tank is a huge testament to your skill as a coach to integrate him.
I mean, I've said it before, I will always say it, and I'm really surprised at how fast Mulfig actually adapted to the team. He impressed everyone, I think. I think he got mentioned as well in another interview that he is actually playing really well.
Yeah, Happy Cool
I think we really fit well together. Yeah, exactly. So I'm really, really happy for that, and I think we really make a great team right now, and we're going to show it in playoffs.
Who is the, obviously, because you're going to make it to finals, of course, but who is the one team that you really want to face off against if you're in that final spot?
British Hurricane, 100%.
Yeah.
We did play them our first week. We didn't know what to expect. They surprised us. They've been playing very good the entire season. And I think if we face them again, that we'll be able to put up a good match against them and we get a revenge.
Yeah, you've had 2 weeks to 2 months rather to download the critical information. You know all about British Hurricane. Even though we are going to be moving on to a new patch, I hope that we will see some new looks from Shoes Money Crew with that new patch. I know you can't really tell us anything about what you're going to be running because that'd be sort of like against the spirit of what surprising competition is going to come out. But are there any players who you think that we definitely will see a lot more impressive performance from in the new patch?
Excluding my own players?
Well, mostly your own players. Like, is there anyone with a secret pocket pick you think maybe is going to come out?
I know Overling really wants to play anything else than Break.
Well, he came out on Hanzo, and we're hyper surprised. Like, Overling's Hanzo is looking very good, so I'd like to see some more of that.
Exactly, and I think you will see it. We'll see soon.
Hopefully, hopefully. Well, thank you very much for the interview, man. Good luck in playoffs next week, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon. Well, there you go. They're hyper confident, they're ready and raring to go. New patch is pretty scary as well, and I think it's scary for a lot of players, you know, pressing that comp Q button once again, but it's even more scary for a teams that have been playing on this patch for so long and then switching up the meta so quickly. Yeah,
our sort of like innate power rankings may shift around a lot as teams are allowed to sort of like mix and match how they want to play. If they want to bring in more DPS players, like you may see the usage of KSP more on Morningstars. Of course, something's got to change up there, whether it's a shot calling style, or maybe they won't change up that much and the patch will be much better sort of like accustomed to the roster that they have.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, playoffs will start next week, but don't go anywhere because we've got another match. We'll see you after this break.